I think he's a very good football player that throws a very good deep ball, and that's scary. Some guys can throw them all. Some guys are better underneath. He throws a really good deep ball with a lot of touch, and they throw it a lot of times in a game. Only takes 3 of those successful, and you got 21 points on the scoreboard. So that's a scary piece as we start our preparation. I think he has good velocity on his ball and the underneath stuff. He's certainly got a good core group of receivers that give him plenty of weapons. They're playing 3 backs in the backfield, 3 tailbacks. So they've got people to surround him with that are gifted players. Their only loss is to the #1 ranked team in the country, and they played them a full 60 minutes to get to that point. I think they're an awfully good football team, and I think that's the culture in that program. And in the Big 12 teleconference, somebody had mentioned them being the youngest team, whatever formula is used to figure that out, but when you've been preparing and practicing and watching other folks do it and win, and then you add yourself in, you got a good number of good pieces to get that done, and obviously I think that's the case with that football team right now. They know how to win, and they've done a good job of getting it accomplished through 4 games. That's the very first sentence I wrote down in my film study is they run very well. Very well as a defense, and people's screen games and things like that is almost non-existent because they transition from the point of attack out to the perimeter very fast. They've got a secondary that's got some younger players and had to plug in some other guys because of injuries, and they don't miss a beat. A lot of matchup coverages in the overall width of the field, and they run good with everybody they match up with. They're right on top of you. It's a sideline similar to Kinnick and Norman. That, I mean, you're talking to their fans as well as talking to your players when you're making adjustments. They're very active, very involved in the game. Those particular people are there early, and they're making noise and so forth and warm up, so you know what you're getting after. There's maybe not a more closed-in stadium because of the basketball arena and the changes in college football, so it's a noisy place. I think that's accurate. I think as we finish up Game 4, they're starting to emerge a little bit more, and Trent certainly is getting the most work, moving Mitchell inside. He was the furthest ahead in August, and that shows right now. Dale got 20-some snaps in the game, and that was fun to see. Probably further ahead as a pass rusher than he is in other areas. And Kwan, the last 2 games, has showed up for us and will continue to show up for us. You know, other guys aren't getting on the field as much because of who they're behind or whatever the situation. But now, as we head into the second 2/3 of the season, I think those guys will surface more. You got to run the ball and you got to defend a run if you're going to be successful. And we're not even scratching the surface at doing that. We're averaging just over 100 yards running the game, and our quarterback, not by design, is our top runner. We've got to fix it. It certainly is being addressed. It's not something that we're putting our head in the sand about. But you got to scheme things up sometimes when you don't have the horses. Pardon my pun. And whether that's smoke and mirrors or just leveraging angles, we need to do a better job of blocking. That's not just the interior 5, that's everybody. Receivers are part of the blocking group, and the tight ends. And our running backs need to do a better job of running the football. We got to make some folks miss. In watching Oklahoma State, other people are taking care of every gap too, and sometimes backs make folks miss. We need that added into the quotient as well. We'd like people to not double team him and bracket him and so forth, to give us an opportunity to do that. They're aware of him too. They've done a nice job of defending him. With better opportunities, we will get him the ball more. But yeah, he's very much a part of the package, and he's very much a targeted receiver in the stuff we're doing. But folks know that, and they're doing a nice job of defending him. I believe so, and I believe it showed just as you described. We knew we had to win against press coverage. That will be the case in the foreseeable future in this league, and we think we did. But we got to continue to do that. I mean, we hit some fades. We got some pass interference on a number of others, and then as you said, we missed, and we missed on what potentially could have been 14 or 21 more points, potentially on those plays alone, let alone what might have come afterwards if we just completed.